Welcome. This is lesson number 2, and we're going to talk in this video about sourcing and finding inventory for opening a store. And you're going to do this before you actually build your site or create an eBay store or just a site on eBay from which you would sell your stuff. Okay, so how do you get started, particularly if you don't have much or any money to invest in inventory? And at this point, you're also probably not really sure what it is you should sell. You may have several different ideas. As a matter of fact, I hope you do, because remember, it needs to be something you know something about and something that you really care about, that you're interested in and want to learn more about it and won't get bored with it and go, oh, I'm so sick of that if I have to see another Mickey Mouse item or whatever it is. So first, before you do anything else, and remember we talked in lesson number 1 about preparing the mindset, getting in the frame of mind to think like a business owner. And one of the ways to do that is planning. So I would recommend, before you go out and start buying a bunch of stuff that might not be the right things to buy, that you do first this, and that is look around your house, find at least 20 or more things that are kind of all in the same realm, maybe dishes or kitchenware or tools or, some things that you just have sitting there and you're not using them and they're just collecting dust, and you keep thinking, oh, I need to get rid of that, or I need to clean out that cabinet or that garage or whatever. So can you think of a category that would fit that bill? Collect those items and gather them up, inventory them, write them out on a spreadsheet, or you can just do it on a notepad with pen and paper and write down, what it is, and then you can start researching it on eBay or in Google and in keywords. But what you want to do is find out, are there others like it that are currently for sale on eBay or on Etsy or on Poshmark or Mercari or Facebook Marketplace? So one at a time, take those pieces that you have gathered from your own home that were free and do the research on them and see, is this something that people want? Is it something that will sell? And I will be sharing with you about figuring sell-through rate so you can determine, but just go to several of those places and start looking. And you can even Google it, and it will give you many different places if in fact it's for sale somewhere on the internet. So write down the price that it's listed for, and then research what's called the solds. Those are items like the one you found in your house that somebody has actually bought on the internet. So eBay will show you the things that are currently for sale, and then you can filter it to search just the things that have sold in the last 90 days. So that will give you a very good idea of if things are selling and what price they are selling for, and then you have a benchmark to kind of guide you on, is this an item I should try selling? So does that make sense to you? It does to me, and I hope that it will be a way that you can get started for, again, no cost at all. One other way that you can get started for no cost, and I had thought of doing this, but I just hadn't done it yet. Last week or week before last, I believe it was, a friend reached out to me and said she is moving, much to my dismay, because she's somebody I really have enjoyed knowing and wish we had spent more time together. But anyway, she is moving, and she said, I have some things that I just want to get rid of, and I don't want to throw them away or donate them if I don't have to. And she said, do you think you'd be interested in selling them on eBay? And I went, absolutely, let's get together and you take a look at what you have, and I'll tell you whether or not it's something that I think would sell on eBay. So I went over to her house and spent a couple of hours, and we went through all the things in her basement. Some of them are actually wedding presents from, I think she said she's been married 30 years, so 30 years ago, and some things that she just didn't use anymore, a collection of some little collectible figurines, and just an assortment of things. A wrought iron wine bottle holder, no, it wasn't a sewing kit, it was a picnic basket, a wicker picnic basket with all the little utensils and plates and stuff in it. So anyway, here's what you can think about. Get in touch with friends or family members, somebody that you're close enough or that you wouldn't mind asking, do you have anything that you're ready to part with? Maybe you don't want to donate it or just give it away for free. I could list it on my eBay store, and we could split the proceeds after expenses. So you have to know what the expenses are going to be, and there definitely will be expenses involved in listing it, promoting it, selling it, shipping it. So buying materials for the shipping and et cetera, et cetera. So after expenses, then 50-50, we're going to split the proceeds. I haven't inventoried them yet because I just picked them up, and we'll see. My guess is probably maybe close to 30 to 50 items. So once they sell, I will send her a check for what we made on it after splitting it 50-50. So if you haven't thought about that, that's another way you can get inventory to start finding items to sell for free. So what you already own, and work with friends or family members who'd like to sell it but don't want to go to the trouble of setting up an eBay store and creating an account and learning all the stuff you have to do to make that happen. So that's a good thought. One of the other things I was going to tell you about, because a lot of people talk about how inexpensive it is to go to the bins. And if you don't know what the Goodwill bins are, let me just briefly give you an explanation. Goodwill keeps inventory in their regular thrift stores for a certain period of time, and if they don't sell, then they go to what's called the outlet or to the bins. And not only do they get that old inventory, but sometimes they just get excess inventory. Maybe there isn't room for something, or somebody donates a huge quantity of something. So anyway, there are various streams by which this inventory can come into the bins. I had never been to the bins, and yes, it is. What you do is you pay by the pound, and I think that price varies from location to location, but it is a very inexpensive price per pound for soft goods like clothes and I guess shoes are in that category as well. It's one price, and then hard goods are another price, like small appliances or maybe tools or etc. So I was over picking up the inventory from my friend who lives in Indiana, and there is an outlet or a bin store in Indiana. There isn't one in Kentucky where I live, but this one in Indiana is only about 25 minutes away from where I live. So I thought, you know, I'm gonna go by there. I'm gonna be really close. I just want to check it out and see what it's like. And I'll show you a couple of things that I got and tell you what my experience was there and whether or not I recommend you use going to a bin if you have one nearby to get items really, really, really inexpensively. So here's the first little thing I got. He is a little Saint Bernard dog, and he is a brand name, so you want to look for the labels that are the better quality, particularly with plush or stuffed animals. He is a dream pet and has the tag on him, and I looked him up while I was in the store and saw that he was very sellable, and I can't remember right off the top of my head what most of them were listed for. I'm thinking between 10 and 15, and so I decided to pick him up for resale. And the second thing I got was another plush. This is a Bass Pro Shop. I guess it's a blue marlin. I'm not a fish expert, but let's see, I'll move it that way so you can see it a little better. He's in wonderful condition, but I'm not sure he has a lot of value. I didn't find anyone like him on the internet. There were other fish that were Bass Pro Shop labeled, but no other blue marlin. So I'll probably have to do a little more thinking about what price, but I'm thinking somewhere again in the $15 range. So what did I pay for these two? Well, again, weight. So I paid much less than $1 for both of these. And the third thing I got was actually a little heavier, so it contributed to my subtotal of $4. And then I got one other thing I'll tell you about. This was a really interesting find. It was really, really, really dirty when I found it, full of dust and just looked kind of nasty, but once we got it cleaned up, I mean, look how cool this thing is. It's called a train case. I found it on the internet. The most expensive one I found listed currently was $59. And there were some that were listed for much lower, some that were in between, and some that were 38. So anyway, I mean, really a unique piece and in really good condition. This is a card case. Let me lift it up so you can see, a whole thing where you can put credit cards or business cards, and then all the different zip compartments, and this thing pulls open. I guess you could pack everything for a weekend bag in it. So again, all 4 of these things, a total of $4. And they all fit within my category of things I'm selling on my store. So I want them to be compatible. In other words, you want to have a niche, a theme for what your store is all about. If I sold nothing but knives or hunting equipment, I probably wouldn't want to put a purse in my site, on my store for sale. But having said that, the 4th thing I got was kind of in that, well, it's not a purse, it's not a plush, it's not clothing, it's not shoes. So what was it? It was a 7-person tent. Yes, I bought a tent for $8. It is a Coleman tent in a carrying case. I could carry it, so I could carry this 7-person tent around without killing myself. And again, it was really cheap. Did I tell you I paid $8 for it? So anyway, I may try to sell it on Facebook Marketplace first, but I'm going to list it in my store, even though it kind of is not compatible. It's still family related, and all my stuff is kind of things that please people, clothes and plushes, and yes, purses and tents. So you'll have to decide if there is an outlet somewhere close to you. Go check it out. I just wanted the experience. And let me tell you what my overall opinion is. Number 1, I'd heard that it was really gross and nasty and to wear gloves, and I didn't find that to be the case at all. It was pretty clean. I did encounter a couple of dirty things, but nothing horrible and nothing that turned my stomach. So that wasn't a problem. The problem was it was very, very, very time consuming. Have you heard the saying, you've got to go through a lot of frogs to find you've got to kiss a lot of frogs before you find the prince? Well, it's kind of like that at the bins. You've got to go through a lot of junk to find the treasures. And I'm not sure in terms of the best return on your time that is the best way to go, even though you can get it really cheap if you find something good, the price is right. But again, you have to value your time. If you don't have anything better to do, or you just want a break and you have a bin close to you, go check it out and see what it's like for you. And then at that point, I hope you will know what your category is for your store and try to stick to only things that fit within your category. I'll tell you, one of the most frustrating things for me was I found a ton of really cool shoes, particularly men's Timberland boots, some really good quality brands, but I could only find 1 shoe of each of them. I had like 5 different one shoe of, 5 different pair of shoes that would have been great had I been able to find the second shoe. So a lot of time invested for not a lot of physical items that you come out with. So that's your call. You decide if that's something that is worth your time and a good way for you to get inventory very inexpensively. Okay, so now at the end of lesson 2, you're going to gather at least 20 things in your own home that you think will be the category of the types of things you want to sell. In the next lesson, we'll talk about taking pictures of them, getting them listed, how to write a title with keywords, what to say in your description, and we'll talk about item specifics. Whew, that's a lot. Alrighty, see you in lesson 3. Thanks for being here. I hope you're getting some value from this. If so, please like my video and subscribe to see some of the other videos I'm doing as well. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.